Good morning. This is the Fantasy Sports Boss Saturday morning. Wanted to jump on here and discuss the Cam Akers situation a little bit more in depth and where we go from here in terms of the backfield for the Los Angeles Rams and the fantasy football implications that go with it. So make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that notification button if you haven't done so already. More videos coming today. And of course, tomorrow's the big day, Fantasy Football Week 6, where I'm going to be doing the instant update injury videos and analysis and plus the live stream tomorrow evening at 7:30. So now, just to quickly rehash, Cam Akers not playing tomorrow. Very ominous situation based on the words of Sean McVay, who said that, basically we're in uncharted territory. We're working through things with Cam Akers. It sounds like there's some kind of off-the-field trouble, maybe some personal issues that are plaguing him. It almost reminds me of the Calvin Ridley situation when he was battling some mental issues with the Atlanta Falcons, a couple of years ago. So, and McVay also wouldn't answer whether Akers would, play for the team again. So at this point, we have to go on the assumption that we're not going to see Cam Akers again this season. Of course, he's coming back from the Achilles injury, has not looked good at all. The numbers have been down sharply in terms of the numbers this season, averaging only 3.0 yards per carry, so 3 yards a carry. And just has lacked any sort of explosion or speed or any kind of ability to really contribute to the offense, since the Achilles tear. And we've talked about the history of this injury and how devastating it could be for any player, especially a running back. And it looks like, Akers is going that way. So, is there frustration about that along with his role splitting carries with Darrell Henderson? Who knows? But at this point, we're going to go with the assumption that he's not going to be playing for a while, if at all, for the Rams. So where does this leave us? Well, obviously, Darrell Henderson steps up. Henderson's averaged 4.1 a carry this season. Not great, not tremendous, but he's the guy, and Yahoo all of a sudden bumped him to almost 17 projected points this week against a weak Carolina Panthers defense. So he absolutely is a play as a running back too, especially as a flex. The thing is with Darrell Henderson, we've seen this before in terms of him being a clear-cut starter, and it doesn't really last long because he wears down physically. He can't handle a heavy workload before injuries start to pop up. And Sean McVay has acknowledged this. So it's not going to continue to be a Darrell Henderson solo act. Malcolm Brown, of course, is still around. He's back, actually, with the team, and he might get a piece of the pie, but there's no fantasy relevancy there. Kyron Williams is somebody to keep track of. The Notre Dame rookie, McVay said, was going to have a role prior to week 1 until he got injured. He's been out since, but he's in that realm, that cone now when he can return to the team. So Kyron Williams is somebody I certainly would monitor. Barring that, there's 3 names outside the organization I think we should be aware of. The first is Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, we've talked about the Buffalo Bills with McCaffrey. The Panthers have no reason to hold on to McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, or DJ Moore. This is a complete total teardown, so McCaffrey could be somebody that interests them, and in that offense certainly would produce a massive amount of fantasy points. The second name is Sony Michel. Michel did very nice things for this team last year. He was very productive. They didn't retain him. He went to Miami, got cut by Miami. He's now with the Chargers, who have Josh Kelly, who's really taking off as the backup to Austin Eckler. And then, of course, they have the rookie Spiller as well. So it's a crowded running back room for the Chargers. So maybe they might be able to grab Michel for a 7th-round draft pick. The last one, and the most intriguing to me outside of McCaffrey, is D'Ernest Johnson. All right, so there's been rumblings that the Indianapolis Colts have called about D'Ernest Johnson, not liking that landing spot if we have a healthy Jonathan Taylor in terms of Johnson yielding some fantasy football value. But if he goes to the Rams, that becomes very interesting to me because Johnson, when he's played, has shown very impressive dual threat ability, running and catching the football with the Cleveland Browns. He's well behind Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in the hierarchy right now. And even Kareem Hunt could possibly be a name, but we've heard over and over that they're not going to trade him. So D'Ernest Johnson would be somebody I would be looking at. As a matter of fact, with the trade deadline coming up in 2 weeks, I would make a proactive move on D'Ernest Johnson, have him on your bench just in case, if it's a deep league. A 12-team and deeper league, I would definitely have D'Ernest Johnson around. And you know what? You can just simply cut him 2 weeks later if he doesn't get moved. So that's how I would handle that. Anyway, hit that subscribe, hit that notification button. We will be posting more videos soon.